What's going on, everybody? So all of you know already that I'm an Expo main in this game, like my best archetype by miles. I can play other stuff decently well, but nothing is even close to the level that I play Expo at. And today I just kind of wanted to play a couple games, give you guys some tips on what you can do to improve specifically, because I feel like I don't often do that. There's a lot of little interactions, little things that you need to be doing if you want to get better at the game, like overall, and especially with Expo in general. So I know a lot of you say you're struggling, stuck in League, whatever you're stuck in, but the key, I want to say, number one, I mean, there's not really one key to getting better. It takes many things and a lot of patience and practice as well. You can't just get good overnight. It's like any other sport or any other video game. You can't just become insane at it with no practice. So number one, you just got to put in the hours. But I know a lot of people that have played for many hours and like are still not getting better. And the reason is they're just kind of mindlessly playing and they're not actually thinking about what they're doing wrong, why this happened in the game. And no, I'm not saying go watch your replays. Like, I don't think I've watched a replay in my entire life to actually learn something, because you know when you make a mistake, and after you've been playing the game for a certain amount of time, you know what you should have been doing. And that is when you start to get better, is after you realize that you're making mistakes. Once you stop blaming the matchups, once you stop blaming I don't know what else you could even blame in this game, like you misclicked or something. Once you stop blaming those kind of things, that's when you're actually going to start improving. And the ways that you can improve, there's plenty of different things you can do. A lot of people like to play friendly battles, but I'm not really a friendly battle kind of person unless it's just to practice for a tournament. But just in general, the best way to improve is to just master one deck, in my opinion. I'm not saying be a one trick. I'm saying master that one deck completely. I think it's the easiest if you master one deck completely to the best you can play it, right? And then after you've done that, you can kind of start branching out, and you'll learn how to play other archetypes based off the one you've already mastered. You won't be as good with the others, but it just helps a lot when you're super good with one deck. You start to realize, oh, this is what I'm doing wrong. And even when you're not playing that deck, you still realize, okay, I still can improve this. Like, I'm needing to get better with my placements with this card. I still have a lot of cards that I'm not really good with. Oh, that was a really bad nail by him. And I'd like to change that, but yeah, cards like Hunter, I'm not very good with the Hunter, believe it or not, even though that is my name. But yeah, so number one, just you got to put in the time. I'm not saying it's a grind 8-hour job. Like, you guys know me, I don't even play this game that often. I mean, I play every day, obviously, but I don't play anywhere near the amount that a lot of people in this game do, and that's why I'm not the best, right? Like, I don't put in enough time and effort to be the best. Like, in general, even if I was insane and had as much micro talent and macro talent as all the other like pro players in this game, I still wouldn't be the best because I don't put in enough time. And I don't have enough time. That's kind of the truth. When I was a couple years ago, I wanted to be like the best in the world, and I was just like, dude, I really want to just play this game 10 hours a day and not go to school, but that obviously can't happen, and it's not realistic for pretty much anyone. Oh, that was a very interesting fireball there. I can just go ahead and get the king tower, to the king tower, and yeah, we're chilling. So yeah, this is a pretty easy matchup as well, as long as I don't make a mistake. Like I'm saying, you just need to play calm. I'm going to get into some tips with ISPO specifically and just Expo in general. A lot of people think Expo, you've got to pressure at the bridge the entire time, or like at least 4 or 5 times a game, right? That's just kind of false information that you've been seeing. Obviously, you're going to get the flashy wins when you go in with offensive expos, but that's not really what's going to make you better at the game, just continuously spamming as soon as you have 6. You have to think about why you're putting the expo down, right? It's one of those win conditions. If you are playing Expo stupidly, you're going to lose the game, because it's a very easy card to defend. Like, let's just all be honest. The card sucks. Like, the Expo in general by itself is one of the worst cards in the game, and everybody knows that. Without all the support units that it has, like, it would be completely useless. So I'm going to go for the Expo on the right side here. This is what I mean when like when I say be patient and then go into an attack. So look at this. I have an Evo Knight on the left side. He has to respond to that, right? I can just log this Skarmy. He's going to have to go Knight, and even if I'm not getting damage, think about what's happening. He's having to spend all this elixir on defense, and now look, 20 seconds left in the game. I don't even need to do anything. I'm just going to go for one more Expo. I don't need to do this, really, but I just kind of want to keep the pressure on so he doesn't just spam at the bridge. But yeah, anyways, 17 seconds left. Obviously, I'm going to get back to another rocket. That was a clean play by him, but it doesn't matter. This game is pretty clinical and a pretty perfect example on what I mean. You just have to be patient and wait for your time. Like, you can't force Expo connections. You have to build Expo pushes. Even with 3.0, not even just with ISPO, with any Expo deck, you cannot just sit and spam Expo Tesla the bridge. I've done that so many times, and you will learn after. Eventually, you will learn. It's just not going to happen if you don't have the right positioning. A lot of you might be thinking, okay, yeah, don't make mistakes, learn from your mistakes, but how do you know when you are making a mistake? So, basically with Expo specifically, with any deck in the game, you're going to have a general idea of what the elixir count is, right? And if you don't, that's the first thing you got to learn. You got to learn how not to count elixir. I'm not counting the elixir one by one. Like, no, don't listen to anybody that says that. Like, come on, nobody sits there and counts the elixir one by one unless you're like actually the biggest nerd in the entire world. But yeah, what you want to do when you're thinking about, okay, why did I lose the game? Like, you'll go back and you'll think about, oh, did I play a bad Tesla? Did I play a Tesla that got 0 value? Did I play a Tesla that was like this one right here to the right? That didn't really do too much for me, or did I like not protect an Ice Wizard enough? It's always one or two little interactions. When you actually think about it, you will realize, oh yes, I could have done this and the game would have been so much different. Also, a big factor for me in general is the start of the game. Like, there's been so many times when I've lost a game in the first minute of the match, and literally just because I overcommit on the defense, or I play a stupid Ice Wiz, or, you know, even sometimes you can't control your cycle and you have a bad starting hand and they just punish you for it. It happens actually way more often than you would think on the top of ladder, especially. It's very frustrating, but, you know, sometimes you just kind of do get unlucky. He's definitely going to go in right here, I'm pretty sure. Since he plays that Mother Witch like that, he wouldn't just put it down. Yeah, so I'm going to have to rocket that right away, and then I can go for Skellies once that gets killed. Pretty easy defense. Like I said, it's pretty obvious to read what everyone is doing up here. Especially right there, boss went for the Mother Witch in the middle. I could obviously tell he's not going to put a Mother Witch by itself at the bridge, right? That knight, actually, he's going to get 1 or 2 shots on tower. Just one. That was a good rage spell by him. But yeah, like I said right here, I'm going to show you guys what specifically I want to do in this matchup. This is a very hard matchup to learn because you'd think, oh, he's just playing Goblin Giant spam. But no, it's very difficult to actually defend this deck correctly and not spend too much defending, and also know when to go in on offense. Like, you can't sit on your... Yeah, okay, back in the day, Ice Bow, you could literally just sit there all game and then wait, because the rocket did like 600 damage and you could win the games like that so easily. But nowadays you actually have to kind of go for like a little bit of offense no matter what the situation is. You can't just sit here. I'm not going to be playing defense this whole game. I will go for an offensive expo here at some point once the opportunity is right. It's honestly not too bad right now. I could do it. You know, see, I don't want to do it when he puts in a troop opposite lane. A lot of people I've seen, a common mistake with Expo. When they put a troop opposite lane, stop going Expo immediately on the other side. That is like one of the worst common mistakes that I see. It really makes me mad. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? Just because he puts 4 elixir in the back, like, there's for sure, there's scenarios where you're going to go in, right? But it's just not realistic that you're going to get a breakthrough just because you think, oh, I'm up 4 elixir. Like, that's just not going to, it's not going to work. I'm just going to tell it to you right now, and that's probably why a lot of you get frustrated when you can't break through. You're like, oh, Expo's so bad, I can't ever get a connection. And you could say, oh, you just spell cycle, but if you watch my gameplay, that's not the truth. I do go for a lot of offensive expos. I'm going to go for one here because he's kind of in a bad situation with my Evo Knight on the board. A lot of the times, I kind of just cycle my Knights. That's another tip. I guess not really a tip. Everyone does it. But just cycle your Evo card as quickly as you can, man. It's just so broken in this game. We're going to get a massive connection here since he had to overcommit with that Fireball, and now he's going to have to Rage as well. So yeah, pretty tough spot to be in. And even though I'm only up 400 damage, I feel like I'm in such control of this game just because I'm playing patiently and waiting for him to kind of do what he wants to do and then responding to him. So I'm going to go for the Knight. Obviously, he's probably going to Goblin Giant. I can Tesla right away to snipe that Mother Witch. Nice. That's actually huge. He's probably just going to go for the Cycle to get back to another Fireball. Oh, he missed the Tesla with the Fireball, so that's kind of good too. I could just cycle to another offensive bow. At this point, 50 seconds left. There's no point in playing defense like too aggressively, and there's also no point in spamming too hard at the bridge. So I'm gonna hopefully go for like a balanced mix here. He might have to Fireball that again. No, he's not. He's just gonna go for I don't even know. What does he even do right here? I think he just loses the game. At this point, 35 seconds left. It's time to defensive expo. Look at the tower situation. I don't even really necessarily need to rocket. I'm just going to log first and knock off the Dark Prince shield, and I think I'm just going to rocket all this. And that was a bad NATO, but it doesn't really matter too much. I did miss the Mother Witch with the rocket somehow magically. Guess I'm just bad at the game, but yeah. Like I said, just being patient, knowing when to protect your Ice Wiz, knowing when to not overcommit at the bridge stupidly, just little things like that. You just need to learn when is the time to go in with expos and when is not. And you could say, oh, I never get a chance to go in with an X-bow? Well, you're probably not defending queen enough. It all comes down to your defense overall when you're playing an ice bow, and honestly 3.0 as well, you have to play perfect defenses. But yeah, hopefully this video gave you a few pointers, or at least made you think about your own gameplay and is like, oh, maybe I could do this better, maybe I could do something else better. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.